Well, Guy Junker, you're always known to offer foresight. How about 4 football games for the weekend to fall the Steelers' way? One of them here at Heinz Field at 1 o'clock. Still a meaningful game. Steelers and Browns. Are you feeling in the holiday spirit that you're ready to give out some gifts?
Well, I think after last weekend, how can you look at this weekend and say it's impossible? I mean, I thought it was impossible a month ago, and they're still kicking around. So I feel good about their chances of beating the Browns. Obviously, they've got a lot more to play for. They've been on kind of an offensive roll the second half of the year. I think they've got some work to do defensively in the offseason, but enough to beat a Browns team that's really kind of just limping into the postseason once again after a very good they're the opposite of the Steelers, actually. A very good early season and then have fallen apart, and the Steelers had that 0-4 September, which is killing them right now and put them in this position. But do I feel good that everything's going to go their way? No. But I certainly, they survived. Last weekend was tougher to survive, I think, than this one, so it can happen.
Hard to see the Steelers losing at home to Cleveland. I mean, Josh Gordon gave them a lot of headaches the last time. That'll be a worry. Jason Campbell probably plays. He was okay before he was injured against them, but he's 1-6 as a starter this year. Their defense has been pretty good, but as you say, they're coming in with a totally different mindset. It's almost the organization would probably rather they lose.
Probably would get a better draft pick out of it, and I think it's very. First of all, it's very difficult to predict what's going to happen. I put a lot of thought into these games coming up before we pick pork today, just because you don't know who's motivated and who's not. And I heard you talking with Tommy Barton earlier on your show there that he says you can't always go with the team that it means the most for, because sometimes look what the Steelers did to the Bills that year. Willie Parker's coming out game. The Bills had to win that game to make the playoffs. The Steelers had nothing to play for, and they kicked their butt. So you never know what guys are playing for contracts, what guys are playing for positions on the team, what backups are trying to win starters' jobs. All the motivation isn't just in getting a playoff game, and sometimes when you're in that precarious situation of your season maybe ending, it makes it tougher to play.
Will be a curious offseason for the Steelers one way or the other. If they finish 8-8 and miss the playoffs, it'll be just like last year in some ways. In some ways not, though. They'll have some, good finish to the season after starting 0-4. Emmanuel Sanders injured, looks like unlikely to play Sunday. Maybe you'll see more of Marcus Wheaton, some of the other young guys. And then you have, going into the offseason, Antonio Brown named team MVP. Yet again, Ben is snubbed in a vote by his peers. Yeah. I don't know what, it's a great season for Antonio Brown. Hard to knock him as that pick. I think you and I had a discussion about that maybe a week or so ago, who was more deserving, and it's you could make a case for both guys.
Yeah, you could make a case for both guys. I just think the quarterback touches the ball. I mean, the quarterbacks get all the attention in football for most individual awards. We talk about the Heisman voting. If you're not a quarterback or running back or a wide receiver, you're not going to have a legitimate chance in college football, and I think it's the same in pro, but I just think the guy that touches the ball on every down is still more valuable than Antonio Brown, who maybe gets 6-7 catches a game. That said, how can you not love this guy? I mean, Pittsburgh fans love blue-collar athletes. I mean, they love their stars, but they love guys that work hard. This guy is a star because he works hard. His workout regimen is legendary, and great personality. There's no reason not to like the kid.
Well, you wonder if that rubs off on his teammates. Just trying to, and this is all speculation from outside the group there, but he certainly is well loved by his teammates. 2 out of the last 3 years he's been voted team MVP. He has put up the numbers, but everybody raves about his work ethic and how much time he puts into the game. And even earlier this year, we had a criticism of Roethlisberger from a reporter that said he was leaving the building early again, and he was the first one out. And Ben bristled at that and said he goes home and works and puts in the tape study there. But is there something to that? Still keeping Ben from being universally not respected, but
I think a little less that than the admiration for Brown. Even a guy like Jericho Cotchery, a veteran who's played in another organization, comes in and takes note. Man, this kid. And I think it does rub off, Ken. I mean, it's harder to rub off on an entire team when you're looking at a team of, counting practice squad guys and everything between 50 and 60 guys than it is for, say, a hockey team. What Sidney Crosby does for the Penguins does rub off on the rest of the team. It's a third of the roster, so it's easier for everybody to see what he's doing. But I think that stuff is contagious. And I think that, more than people not respecting what Ben has done, is the reason that he got the vote.
I actually thought it might
I'd like to know how close. No, I didn't see results. Did you?
No,
they don't
Tomlin never gives
I'd like
that.
to know how close that is.
I actually thought it might be split. Cowher did that one year where I think he fudged the numbers to get a split vote in there to make everybody happy. It's got to bother Roethlisberger. I mean, to not be named MVP again, he's putting up record numbers too.
Well, I mean, you've heard the national announcers, the guys that did the game last week, were talking about they think it's his best season ever. Certainly statistically it is. I mean, I think when you win a championship, those are your best seasons, regardless of what your personal numbers are.
All right, should be an interesting Week 17. We'll be talking about it Monday, and, of course, all day here today on a Football Friday. Ken and Guy, TribLIVE.com.